Hello, we're going to do well-ordered language. And this lesson, I am just going to do the lesson to enjoy, the tale. It is on page 66. And then I am going to read, this one is Athena defeats Poseidon. And then I'm going to read the one that is in the teacher's manual. And then my next video will just be some diagramming sentences. So these are going to just be two separate videos, I believe, okay? So turn to page 66 and you can read along with me in your book. It says, founding myths such as the story of King Cecrops tell of the birth of significant cities. The ancient people dedicated themselves and their cities to patron deities, gods they believed would watch over them and grant them favors. In the myth, Athena defeats Poseidon. King Cecrops' young city has become prosperous and it is time for the people to choose a patron from among the gods. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and Poseidon, the god of the sea, both want the title. They compete to give the best gift to the city and thus win the hearts of the people. Okay, so here's the ancient Greek myth. And one word that you might be new to you is resolve. It means to clear up or solve, to make a firm decision. All right, Athena and Poseidon both knew that the small fortress town on top of the hill known as the Acropolis would someday be a famous city. Both gods wanted the honor of naming the town. Athena wanted it to be called Athens after herself. Poseidon, on the other hand, liked the sound of his own name much better. The two gods quarreled and argued and quarreled some more. At last, they came up with a way to resolve their differences. They agreed to give gifts to the people of the town and allow them to decide which god would name the place. So Poseidon created the horse and gave the people horses to help plow their fields and to carry men into battle. Athena created the olive tree. Poseidon almost laughed to see a spindly tree contending against his magnificent new creature. And yet the Greeks found the fruit to be delicious, not only the fruit, but its oil as well. Olive oil could be used to fuel lamps, to make soap, to soothe sunburns, and to clean wounds. The wood of the tree could be carved into beautiful furniture. In the end, the people voted for Athens' gift. To this day, the city surrounding the Acropolis is known as Athens. So, questions to ponder. Why do Athena and Poseidon want the town named for them?
So they can have all the credit.
Yeah, they realize that someday this small town will be famous. It will be the center of commerce, education, and culture. In order to take credit for the city's future success, both gods wanted the people to depend on them and revere them. Thus, the ancient Greeks characterized Athens in this myth as a city so wonderful that even the gods fought for it. All right, second question. What are the advantages of each god's gift? Would you rather have a horse or an olive tree?
Horsey!
I guess it depends on what your occupation is and where you lived when you lived, right? The advantages to both. Why do the people choose... Oh my goodness, my daughter's going down the stairs on her belly. Why do the people choose Athena's gift over Poseidon's?
Because Poseidon's gift can only be used for like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, it says, even though the olive tree looks laughable next to the magnificent horse, it has so many uses that are essential to everyday life and survival. You can even use it to clean your hair. Olive oil shampoo. Okay, the next story is not in your book, but it is in the teacher's book, okay? This is also a poem, and it asks, Rogine, stop whistling. Have you ever considered an absurd question that doesn't really have an answer? Such as, why did the chicken cross the road? Here's a poem by Albert von Chamisso about a deep thinker who becomes obsessed with such a question. Why does a pigtail hang down the back of the head and not the front? The question remains, is this really a tragic story, or is it simply a preposterous story? All right. It's by Albert von Chamisso. It's been translated by William in 1811 to 1863. So it's a pretty old one. A sage is a wise person. And yore, it's Y-O-R-E, means long ago, okay? So there lived a sage in days of yore, and he a handsome pigtail wore, but wondered much and sorrowed more, because it hung behind him. He mused upon this curious case, and swore he'd change the pigtail's place, and have it hanging at his face, not dangling there behind him. Says he, the mystery I've found, I'll turn me round. He turned him round, but still it hung behind him. Then round and out and in, all day the puzzled sage did spin. In vain, it mattered not a pin. The pigtail hung behind him. And right and left and round about, and up and down and in and out, he turned, but still the pigtail stout hung steadily behind him. And though his efforts never slack, and though he twist and twirl and tack, alas, still faithful to his back, the pigtail hangs behind him. It's kind of a funny one, huh? All right. As my family is being really loud in the back, I will see...
Mom.
Here, hold this a sec.
Okay.
I'm going to see if the author is in the back. I forgot to check that before I started reading.
Mom, look.
So, von Chamisso Adalbert, if you look on page 194, is his biography. He was born in 1781. When Adalbert von Chamisso was only 9, he fled France with his family to escape the French Revolution, during which many aristocratic people were executed. Safe in Berlin, Germany, von Chamisso eventually adopted the German language as his own. His poetry and fiction were all composed in German, and he founded a literary society for writers in Berlin. A number of his poems were set to music by German composers such as Robert Schumann. In addition to being a man of literature, von...
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll wait. I really have nowhere else to go, guys. Sorry. A number of his poems were set to music by German composers such as Robert Schumann. You've probably heard of him. In addition to being a man of literature, von Chamisso was a scientist. He was the official botanist, a scientist who studies, that's right, plants. On a sailing expedition around the world. Oh, so he was a botanist. He sailed around the world. The diary he kept on that voyage was published and widely read. By his best-known prose work is a tale about a man who sells his shadow and encounters all sorts of problems without it. So if you remember, Darwin also went on ship. On ships, they always had a botanist, a cartographer. They had other people on the bus to write records of everything they found. Okay, so in modern times, the Adalbert von Chamisso Prize is an award given to writers of German literature whose first language was not German, but who, like von Chamisso himself, adopted it as their own. The poem we include in Chapter 3, A Tragic Story, was composed by von Chamisso in German, of course, but you get to read it in English because another famous writer, William Makepeace Thackeray, translated it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that funny poem.